Welcome to this brief presentation on Wellness Your Way, our new wellness program for fiscal year 2012. Before we jump into some of the changes and enhancements that we did to the program, which we're very excited about, I want to just do a quick review to remind us all why we're doing wellness and why we focus on it. The four goals that we've always had regarding the wellness program have been first, to improve and maintain the health of employees and their families. We're also looking to provide incentives and rewards to those individuals who are proactively taking charge of their health. Number 3 is to save employees money, and then number 4 is to also save NIC money. Let's take a look at and see how we're doing in those areas. In the first goal of improving and maintaining the health of employees and their families, we're doing a pretty good job. Wellness has definitely become the stir among employees, and we're talking about it and doing more things. We've seen a significant increase in preventative care, which is a great thing, and we've also seen a decline in our high-cost claims from year to year. We have reports of a lot of people losing a lot of weight, getting healthier, stopping smoking, and doing other things that have really helped out. On the not as positive side, we still have a ways to go. We still have considerable costs. We still have some high claims costs. We still are focusing on some behavioral aspects that can help us to change behavior today that are going to impact us later on in our claims. And so we still got a ways to go, but we're doing pretty good. On the second goal of providing incentives and rewards to those individuals who are actively taking charge of their health, again, we have some very positive signs. We see more and more folks talking about it, more and more people are participating at some level, and we spent over $300,000 last year on HRA incentives as a result. It's a great thing, and we hope to pay out more. On the not as positive side, keep in mind we've tried to build up this interest and participation along the way, and we finally have that. However, we've gotten used to being able to earn a lot of money by only taking a few minutes out of our lives to do a few steps. The online health risk assessment, indicating that we don't use tobacco, etc., etc. So again, we're doing pretty good in this area. Number 3, on saving employees money, it's all good information, it really is. For an individual who takes the entire benefits package today, they're paying about as much as they did back in 2006. It's amazing, absolutely amazing that we've been able to maintain some costs. And we've had some highs and lows, but overall we're moving in the right direction. For those individuals who have participated in the wellness program actively, they had the opportunity to have earned up to $2,700 as individuals, and families could have earned as much as $5,400 in their HRA contributions. This is a great way to help offset those medical costs. Finally, when it comes to saving NIC money, we have saved the college tremendous amounts of money through the active use of our wellness program. This not only shows up in our premiums, as we've negotiated more and more with our carriers, but we also see a reduction in some other costs. For example, workers' compensation has gone down tremendously as well in terms of our claims. We do know that wellness is expensive and it is a significant cost. At the same time, we also recognize that a lack of wellness or unhealthy behavior among employees is actually far more costly. So we're moving ahead, but again, we're in the right direction. Now, as we took a look at this year and assessed what we could do differently to help improve the program, we took a look at some points of feedback. The first point of feedback came from our employees. While most employees appreciated the opportunity to earn money based on their wellness activities and to use that to help offset their costs, what they really were talking to us about was, this one-size-fits-all, it's okay, but is there something more? Is there a way to provide us with some incentives for some of the things that we do that contribute to our wellness but aren't really part of it? So we took that into account. The second area where we took into account was a review of our claims, of our insurance claims. What we recognized is that while things were improving, they weren't improving nearly as fast as we were aggressively pursuing our wellness goals. So while more people were participating, we still need some additional progress in terms of what we're doing with our claims, especially in those claims that are related to our behavior. The third point of feedback came from a study that we commissioned with Mercer. Mercer is a company that works with benefits administration and HR consulting. We asked them to take a look at our program and benchmark it. Evaluate our program based on best practices, not just every other organization out there, but the best practice that we could possibly be using. When they came back to us, they gave us the information that we had by far the richest wellness plan that they've ever seen. Nobody gives away $1,000, let alone $2,000. So nobody gives it away. That you've got the best wellness program that there is in terms of the incentives that employees can earn. I responded that I kind of figured that, but what else? They went into the details of some of the options that we could be doing and evaluated and said, while it's a great program and you've got some great interest, there's some other things that you need to take into account if you really want to make a difference. So we evaluated that. The bottom line was they said, you're giving away a lot of carrots, but you really had no sticks behind it. You're giving away the farm, but you didn't ask for much in return. So when they got a little deeper into our evaluation, they broke our population out into four areas. The first area is the group of folks who are very well, they're healthy, and they're taking care of themselves. The second group were those individuals with one or more risk factors, such as weight, cholesterol, heart, etc. We looked at a third group with the ill and injured, those that have some kind of acute condition, and then the catastrophic conditions that really cost some money. As they took a look at these things, they recognized, when you get to the top, you get to that catastrophic part, it's tough to do anything but to control costs. And while we want to get them back to health, and that's really our focus, really that's not where the emphasis of our program needs to be. For those who have acute conditions, it's about getting them the care that they need, get them fixed, get them healed, and let's bring them down into one of the other areas to help them improve and maintain their health. They said, with those who are currently well or those who are at risk, you're doing a pretty good job of providing incentives to them, but really your biggest bang for the buck is to help healthy people stay healthy and to get folks who are at risk in one of those at-risk categories to improve themselves and come back down into the well group. So, taking some of these factors of feedback into consideration, we developed our program for the year called Wellness Your Way. And our focus was to move from simply participating in some of the activities to engaging in wellness activities, not just a few minutes here and a few minutes there, but throughout our lives. Really, this isn't a massive change in what we're asking folks to do, but it is a massive change in how we're asking them to think about it. The Wellness Your Way program has 3 parts. The first part is to choose your deductible. This last spring during open enrollment, we sent out a lot of information and had a lot of workshops relating to the changes that were going to be made in the deductible. In those packets of information that were sent to the house and the letters and the workshops, we explained that the deductible for our plans were going to be going up. They moved from $1,000 to $1,500 for individuals and from $2,000 to $3,000 for families. Now, employees had the opportunity to have the lower deductible of still maintaining that $1,000 and $2,000 deductible that we've had in the past. However, during open enrollment, they were required to go online and complete the health risk assessment for themselves, and also, if they had dependents, then the primary dependent who's also eligible for the incentives had to complete it at that time. Number 2 is they had to indicate that they were not using tobacco, either they or their primary dependent, whether it be a spouse or oldest child or whatever. If an employee had indicated that neither person was using tobacco and they completed the online health risk assessment, we took that into consideration and they received the lower deductible of $1,000 and $2,000. Everyone else who either did not complete anything or only completed one of the options were eligible for the higher deductible, which was $1,500 and $3,000. This option was available to employees during the 5-week open enrollment period during the spring and will be available again next spring during the next open enrollment period for the following year. The second part of the Wellness Your Way program are what we call the core activities. These are 3 activities that we hope that everybody participates in. The first one is similar to what we've requested in the past, and that is to complete your annual exam. Simply go to the doctor, have your wellness exam, turn in some kind of documentation. Now, the wellness exam should be covered 100%, so there shouldn't be any co-pays, there shouldn't be any co-insurance, and a lot of your tests should be covered along with everything else at no additional cost to you. Be sure that your medical provider bills this as a wellness visit in order to get those, in order to make those arrangements. In the past, we've required that the annual exams be completed by December of the year, but this year we're modifying that. Anybody who has had a physical from January of 2011 all the way through May of 2012 would be eligible to use those visits as the incentive. Simply turn in your documentation and you're good to go. The second core activity is education. We've had this in the past and we've tried some things out. This time the educational piece is specifically for employees. Spouses and primary dependents who are not employees of NIC are not required to attend these classes. They can if they want. They're more than welcome to come. However, they're not going to be required to meet this core requirement. Employees are required to attend 4 sessions. They're typically held at lunchtime, either on a Monday or a Wednesday over in the Student Union building. We are looking for some different options for those who are at distance learning centers or who are not available at noon, but we'll provide more information on that as we can. The third core activity is exercise. Similar to the past, we're asking employees to go out and exercise 3 times a week. 20 minutes a day. Could be going out for a simple walk, doing yoga at lunchtime, whatever you want to do, just exercise, keep the logs, and submit those logs at the end of each semester for credit. The third component of Wellness Your Way are the elective activities. We've identified at least 35 different activities that employees and their primary dependents can engage in for rewards. There is another category at the end called Other, and that's just simply a catch-all category for us to identify some additional opportunities that come up throughout the year for which we'll provide incentives. While we tried to do our best to provide all the information that we could in the Wellness Your Way book, which was sent to your homes, we know that there are some things that are coming up that we were not aware of at the time of the book's publication. As we continue to communicate throughout the year, we'll identify different activities, different solutions, different options for you to go out and earn some more money. The best solution is to simply look at the book, start to identify some opportunities to engage in, and go from there. Again, you can download this booklet on the HR website, or you can go to the booklet which was sent to your homes over Labor Day weekend. As for the incentives that you can earn, the first incentive goes for your examination, your wellness examination. Remember, go to the doctor, get your documentation that you had your exam, submit it into Human Resources, and you get $100. The second one is on the educational pieces. All you need to do is attend 4 of these lunch and learns, the workshops, the classes that we have and that we sponsor, and they're worth $25 a piece. When you go and attend these functions, we'll have a sign-in sheet, so just make sure that your name gets on the list, and that's all you have to do. You don't have to turn in any forms. We'll keep track of that, and we'll pay out as you attend. The third core incentive is for exercise, so just simply keep your exercise log throughout each semester. Remember, we need to have documentation that you exercised at least 3 times a week for 20 minutes a day over the course of at least 12 of the 16 weeks in each of the semesters. Just submit those logs by the end of each semester and you're good to go. For individuals who have primary dependents who are on the plan, who are also eligible to earn incentives this year, this is how they can earn their incentives. The first core incentive is the exam, just like you as the employee. They go out, they get their wellness exam, turn in the documentation, and that's $100. Also, for the exercise logs, it's worth $50 a semester. They just fill out the exercise logs, turn those in by the end of the semester, and that's how they earn the incentive. We are not requiring the primary dependent, like the spouse or the oldest child or whoever you have designated as your primary dependent. We don't have the requirement in there for them to attend the classes for the core benefit. Instead, they have the option to earn up to $800 for their Wellness Their Way elective activity. So let's talk a little bit about how you get your money. So first thing you need to do, schedule your physical exam. Go talk to your doctor, give them a call, get it on your calendar today. Even if it's a few months out, go ahead and schedule it out. Step number 2 is to start exercising. If you haven't done it yet, now's a great time to start. It's not too late. You can start exercising 3 times a week, start logging and documenting your exercise activities, and as long as you demonstrate 12 of the 16 weeks this semester, then you're good to go. For employees, now's the great time to go ahead and schedule out your 4 workshops. Most workshops are held on either Mondays or Wednesdays at lunchtime. They typically take place at the Student Union building, and we're looking for some different options for those who are working off-site. These workshops are scheduled throughout both the fall semester and the spring semester, so there's plenty of time to get them in. However, please don't wait till the last minute because time will run out before you know it. The next step is to build your own program. Take a look at the Wellness Your Way booklet, see what activities and events that are listed in the back for which we'll pay money and give you credit. Simply circle the ones that you're interested in, start to schedule those out. Before you know it, it'll add up to the $700 for employees or $800 for the spouse or primary dependent. There are plenty of opportunities to choose from. Simply look at the ones that work for you. Within those categories, we also have an other category, and that's again just simply there for us to put in other activities and events that come up throughout the year that we didn't know of when we prepared the booklet. We'll provide that information through Nick Today, Week's Worth, and through the portal. Some of the activities are sponsored by NIC and will just simply take attendance at those events. Other activities are things that you need to start working on your own. In the back of the calendar, and again the calendar is available on the HR website or in hard copy in the HR office. In the back of the calendar, we've listed out the activities that are primarily sponsored by NIC that we'll track participation on and which ones you'll need to work on and submit documentation for. Simply take a look at that list, make sure it makes sense, and let us know if you have any questions. For those activities that you do on your own, such as getting your annual physical, going out and doing some other activities, you'll need to submit the documentation to HR. In order to do that, submit the document plus the form. The form is available out there on the HR website, and this is just simply used to document what the activity is for and who it's from. In the past, we've had some challenges with blank receipts coming through the mail. We don't know what they're for or who they're for. So using the form out there again on the HR website will help us to make sure that you get the credit that you need for your activities. Simply send it in paper form to Teresa in Human Resources, or you can send it electronically by scanning the documentation, submitting the electronic version of the form, and emailing it to us at wellness@nic.edu. We've provided worksheets in the back of the booklet and also the back of the calendar so you can have an idea as to what you want to schedule out. Start to list out what you plan to do and make a game plan so that you can work through that schedule throughout the year. As you can tell, we have something for everyone. Whether you're married or single, have kids, don't have kids, young or old, we have plenty of activities for you. In some cases, you may be saying, hey, wait a second, I'm already healthy, I'm already fit, I don't need this stuff. That's great. Our incentive is to keep you that way, and so we provided several activities and events that you can participate in order to receive your incentive. Do the 3 core activities of exercise, the wellness examination, and the classes, and then choose from a number of different activities that will help support you in your current state of healthiness. If you have a few pounds to drop or you have some other condition that you want to work on, that's great too. Again, start with the first 3 core activities, get your wellness exam, do the exercising and go to the classes, and then choose some of the other activities and events that'll help support you in achieving your weight goals or your other health-related goals. As you'll soon start to see, you'll be able to stack up some of these activities. So when you do one thing, you're actually doing another thing. As an example, if you're going to the gym 3 times a week in order to receive that credit, that'll also double up for your exercising. You're going to be exercising 3 times a week as well. Just simply document it and you'll be double dipping. If you participate in another program, such as the 10,000 step program, then you'll be triple dipping. The key is to identify what works for you, what's going to help support you in your goals.